आदिषड्वैभवाभ्यां समाधिदानव्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां रमादवाङ्घ्रि स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां स्वचापराणामखिलेष्टताभ्यां स्वाहा सहायक्षधुरन्दराभ्यां स्वान्ता நல்லார்க்கும் பொல்லார்க்கும் நடு நின்ற ஞானிகட்கும் வல்லார்க்கும் வரமளித்த வாழ்வே என் சத்குருவே. கண்ணே கருத்தே கருத்தில் உறும் நற்கனியே, விண்ணே ஒளியில் நின்ற விழைவே என் சத்குருவே. தேவர் முதல் காணாத திருநடம் தந்தாண்டு கொண்டு தேவாமிருதம் மீண்ட சின்மயமாம் சத்குருவே. அண்ட பிண்டமாகி நின்ற அமுத பசுந்தேனே, கண்ட மனம் கோணாமல் கதி தருவாய் சத்குருவே.
Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya. Namaskaram to all of you. As most of you already know, that this day signifies the birth of the first guru, in the sense is audio okay? What does birth of a guru mean? Well, the birth of an individual human being, of course, means the day he was delivered from one's mother's womb. That's not what we're talking about. It is very natural when something very profound and when something very precious happens to you, inevitably you tend to withdraw from the din of the daily world. So did Adiyogi, moved into mountain regions. Those of you who come from the cities, you should not think mountains means it's a hill station. Mountains where normally there are no people, no movement especially, because when you come to a certain level of awareness and sensitivity, one problem is every movement that somebody makes unconsciously hurts in some way. So naturally you like to be in a place where there is nobody, there's no unnecessary movement. Some kind of situation which will complement the inner stillness. People around me have this trouble all the time because when I'm socially active, I'm more social than most people. Probably I've taken more selfies than most other people. But when I'm alone, even a smallest movement, one extra word irritates me because, well, that's where you would like to be. But you cannot work with the world like that. So, from the profoundness of stillness to profoundness of activity is not a choice for any sensible human being. It's a choice in terms of what is needed around you. And when Adiyogi chose to ignore everybody around him and simply sat there or danced or did whatever he wanted, From there, when he decided to share, he turned south. That's where we are. But those days, anything south of Himalayas was considered south. So even the North Indians can feel good. You were also south. He turned south. One thing is indicating the movement of the sun towards the south. Another dimension is, even today, in English language at least, not in the Indian languages, but in the English language, when we say south, we are indicating going down. In the stock market, the prices are going south, means it's going down. This is the prejudice of the North Pole. They think south is somewhere lowly. But for those of you who do not know, equator is in many ways the highest point on the planet. So he turned south, indicating that he is breaking all the social norms. No more somebody being more eligible than the other, one clan of people being superior to the other, people who claim superiority by birth or by association. He's trying to demolish all that by turning south. He's saying the highest knowledge will be delivered by facing south, which was considered the most inauspicious. If you do not know this, human prejudice is such that even today, in most villages, the southern end of the village is always the low-caste people are supposed to stay at the southern end of the village. Even today it's maintained in most of the villages. So he turned south, indicating there is no caste, there is no creed, there is no superiority and inferiority. Every human being who is willing is eligible. This is democratization of knowing and knowledge, that knowledge and dimensions of the beyond are not a property that somebody can hold. He's making sure it's available to everyone. So it's on this day. This time, because of some calculations of the calendar, this is the second full moon after the solstice, but normally it is the first full moon after the solstice that the Guru Purnima happens. So on this day, it's a momentous day because someone of his caliber decided to go through the works of trying to make what is not in people's perception to come into their perception. Whatever is not in your perception, when somebody talks about something that is not in your perception, it sounds illogical or weird or stupid depending upon your judgment. Anything that you cannot understand must be stupid, isn't it? He hesitated, do I need to go through these works? But then he decided, aren't we glad that he made that decision? That no matter how much ridicule, No matter what all labels people will stick on you, he decided that he will share. This profound being, when he decided it was not a personal decision, this became the way. This became the culture which bred thousands and thousands of masters through these many millennia. And here we are at the foothills of Velangiri. These mountains, in many ways, are a cascade of his energy and many more who came after him. It is kind of a physical manifestation of this knowing. Right now, with modern technologies, maybe there is some context for people to at least understand this. This would have been very difficult to even speak a century ago, but now that modern technologies are there, that… see, even the Chinese can understand me. They don't know a word of English, and I don't know a word of Chinese, but they can understand me because they got one gadget in their hands. And today, if you have a gadget in your hand, you can know almost anything. You can find out 15,000 years ago, the Guru Purnima, what day of the week was it? You can ask your Google lady. She could tell you probably, it's just a calculation. Because the planet is still was spinning at the same speed as today, so there is no complications about the calculations, it's pretty simple. So you can understand that a piece of plastic and metal can do so many things. It can carry 1,000 hours of music or talks, or it's just coming in the air. So what is in the form of energy can become sound, can become light, can become visuals. You can call this audio, video, whatever, but essentially what is happening is, what is stored in the form of energy is finding expression so that your sensory perception can perceive it in the form of video, audio and various other ways. So once you understand that knowledge, knowing can be stored in the form of an energy, it's much simpler now because there is a context. So in the form of the mountain, fortunately nobody is going to disturb this mountain forever because it's a protected mountain. There is Kailash, in a month's time we are there, and there is Dhyanalinga. Like this, there are many other forms where knowing is stored in the form of energy. What is a certain level of knowing? To bring it into your intellect, to find logical articulation and to put it across in a way that maybe it sounds absurd, but it doesn't sound stupid, this is very important. People don't mind. If they don't understand something, very important, all of you should know this, married people. If you want to say something to somebody that they anyway won't understand, you have to make it a little complicated. They can understand, I don't understand very complicated things. But when you have to make them realize very simple things they don't understand, there is a danger that you may get dismissed as stupid. So this is the danger that a guru adventures into when he gets into transmission mode, because you have to make it as simple as possible and not sound stupid. Difficult, you know. It's all right if you sound weird, some will leave, but some these days are attracted to the weird. If you sound very complicated, those who believe that they're very intellectual, they will hang on because they have complicated the simplest things in their life. But to simplify the most profound dimensions of life, you're always on the edge of risk that somebody who doesn't have the eye to see what it is will dismiss it as stupid. So this risk Adiyogi ventured into. Since then, so many great beings. What is this all about? Guru, as you know, means one who dispels darkness. To turn on a light, is it so difficult? Yes, turning on the light is not difficult, but to make the blind see is difficult. Turning on the light is easy, because you don't have to turn on the light is always on. You can pretend you turned it on. If you tell them it's always on, nobody will see it. You have to tell them, wait, it's going to come on now. Then they may see it. So, like outwardly, someone who has no vision, to him, to show light is difficult. Similarly, inwardly, to turn on a light to someone who has no inward vision is also the same thing. And what use is light inside? We can easily transplant a bulb inside of you, but you still can't see it. Maybe some light will emanate from your ears,